Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So to be honest, not gonna lie, didn't expect to be streaming here tonight, mostly because I'm stocking up on Lemsit. I've had about two cups of Lemsit at the moment, which is, it's alright. High on life and paracetamol and lemon, but it tastes bitter. But yes, oh, God bless him. I had Military History Visualize message me on Twitter saying he's streaming tonight, and it's like, man, if the Pope calls... Sorry, I mean, this is it, yeah. If the Pope calls, Christendom answers, so you know what I mean. We're going to do a stream. We're doing it live. We do more or less have things worked out, actually, which is good news. So I'm just going to get everything set up, just going to get these links shared, and we're going here in just 2 minutes. Very much a... unannounced stream, really. We'll get going here in 2 minutes. If the title would end, if the title would change, that'd be good. How you doing there, Form Man? Good to have you, my dude. How you doing tonight? Aha, there we go. Let's get this shared, and we'll get the show going. Any questions here while I'm getting set up? There we go. Now, if I do break down start sneezing during the course of stream, then consider yourself warned. Okay, I'm gonna get going then before the Lemsit wears off. Right, yo. So, guys, it's been a really interesting one, hasn't it, as of late? I was speaking with Infinite Monkey last night. We really have some fantastic talks in band. They usually go on for at least 2-3 hours, but they are always very useful. We do definitely discuss like the mechanics and just really how we intend to persecute the war and how we intend to take things forward. But the plan that we have in place at the moment in regards to the MKB is, it's somewhat bold, but it does seem to be the appropriate answer. See, what we have here, then, this is from what we were discussing last night. So we have the MKB. Now, the issue with the MKB is the fact that if we take a look at the position here, so if we take a look at where MKB is, and we take a look at the position of the Allied cruiser force over here, so we can see that there's 8 ships in here, but the important thing to note is that they're 2 hexes away. Now, what we want to do here, then, is just bring up the actual drawing tool. Why have I got Audacity open? That's not what I wanted. There's a drawing tool. Best tool I've ever bought, to be honest. Screw a child's love. This is better. Okay. So at the moment, he's about 2 hexes away. Now, how we want to work this is, for example, this is him moving, so he's gonna be here. But the thing is, when he's here, we're gonna be like over there. Well, basically there, really. But what we're going to do is have the other half of the MKB head north, which is going to be quite good. The idea is we're going to be moving out here at full speed, but the only limitation that we do have... Hey, doing that, AD? Good to have you, my dude. Yeah, the only limitation here that we do have with MKB. Not only fuel, Toyota is quite low on fuel. She does make good speed, though, that's the only issue, but she can't really go too far. But if we take a look over here, then, we can make about 1 turn's worth of full speed here with each Toyota. We need to refuel. We need to share this fuel out. The only issue is we can't really afford to stand still right now, because if we refuel at sea, then we're kind of stuck still, really. So how we're going to work this, then, is we're going to look at the speeds here. So Hosho makes 25 knots at max, Taiyo makes 21 knots at max. If we take a look over here at the CVLs, Ryujo and Zuiho make 29 and 28 knots respectively. So if you take a look over here, then, they're going to make 8 hexes worth of movement, whilst this force only makes 6 hexes of movement. Now, the actual cruisers over here, we know roughly what this is. We know what maybe 5 out of the 8 ships are, which is very good. We've been kind of able to work it out. We've seen the Cornwall, we've seen the Exeter. I think the Cornwall is a Exeter class heavy cruiser. Now, when I say heavy cruiser, I'm honestly being really generous. They're armed like a heavy cruiser. They have the heavy cruiser 8-inch guns there. They do have they have a fair amount of firepower. They do have a radar system, which is, I'm quite jealous. But what you have to bear in mind here is, look at the armor. That's 75mm of belt. I'm going to assume this is 75mm. It may not actually be millimeters, but I'm going to say 75mm here. Just to give a... I don't know, something of a reference point. So, bear in mind, this is probably not 75mm. I can imagine warships might have... then again, actually, without looking up these statistics here, I can't assume the Exeter or the warships, the C-Class, did have that much armor. So we'll say 75. But look at that with the deck armor, 25. 75 here for the tower. Now, bear in mind, we compare this to the C-Class light cruiser. Take a look. 75, 25, 75. Basically, the Exeter is a upgunned C-Class light cruiser. Potentially another light cruiser, the British. But this is it. The only difference really is obviously in armament. But the armor is the same. So if we take a look at the durability there, 22. We compare this back to the Exeter. Durability is slightly higher. It is higher at 34. So they look to be an improvement on the C-Class in terms of, like, I suppose structure. I imagine they're different in weight, perhaps. If we take a look over here, then, do I see the tonnage? I don't see tonnage per se. But it's feasible to imagine that the weight is different, the actual gross weight. It was the gross tonnage. But the thing to bear in mind is, you compare that to the Megami, which is over here. We have two of the Megamis. That's the Tayo. Also, yeah. It always just fits. Right, so we take a look at the Megami. The Megami has 140 belts, 60 deck, and 100 tower. So, when our bombs are actually hitting the Exeter, they're doing just as much damage as when they are hitting, like, the, what is it, the Cape Town or the Colombo. So that's very good news. Now, I don't think I can actually show this. I don't know if it's actually in the combat report per se, but if we take a look and try and find it. Where's the one we hit? Exeter. It's in here somewhere. Right, there we go. Yeah. I didn't actually take note of that. I don't think I actually saw it initially. But notice the fact that we see here, heavy smoke from fires obscuring the heavy cruiser Exeter, heavy smoke from fires obscuring the light cruiser Cape Town. Now, I tell you what, I also need to enable the subscribe thing and my followers on the actual stream. I need to set that back up. I used to have it set up, but something went wrong. But yes, anyhow, the thing to take into consideration here is you don't really get that message unless some real damage has been really thrown out there. So that's what we need to bear in mind here. I don't think the Exeter will be in this fight, or if she's in this fight, I just don't think she's going to be in this fight. Cape Town might similarly be in a bad position. I think she had a deck penetration by one of the bombs, and I think that did cause some severe damage. So I think the 8 ships is more than likely going to come down to 6 ships. So why I'm pointing this out is the fact that it might not be as bad as it first seems with having quote-unquote 8 heavy cruisers on our tail. In fact, we might be looking at only 1 heavy cruiser, and there's still another heavy cruiser in here, so at least it takes us from 2 to 1, which is good news. And then the Cape Town may not be present, so that 8 becomes 6. And the good news is that if we're dealing with the C-Class light cruisers, I think we've seen Cape Town... sorry, Colombo. I'm sure it was Colombo. Cape Town, Colombo. I think there was another one. What the hell was the name of the other one? I'm sure there's a third light cruiser. What was the name of that? Cape Town, Colombo. I'm sure there was another light cruise. I can't remember the bloody name of the thing. But I'm sure we've seen about 3 C-class light cruisers. So if we infer that 3 of those are at least C-class light cruisers, perhaps. 2 of those heavy cruisers there are the Exeter. One of them is probably not going to be present in the fight, and one of the other light cruisers may not be present in the fight. We did torpedo the Sumatra twice over here, which is very good news. She looks to be still afloat over here. We didn't actually hear her sink. So she's probably still afloat over here, but the thing is, she's going to be completely combat ineffective. You don't really come back from that. But yes. So the reason why this all matters is the fact that even if this force is intercepted, it's still moving at full speed, but it's not moving as fast as what these cruisers could potentially be moving at. This force of 8 becomes force of 6, and we do have Mogami and 3 destroyers. But the Megamis are no slouch in combat. They are fully armed and fully ready for combat. They do have good experience here at night. Day experience is 73, night experience is 69. Mikuma has 69, 70. She's actually slightly better in terms of experience at night, which is very good news. But the fact is we have 32,000 yards of range there. If we compare that to the Exeter, I think the Exeter has the same sort of range. I mean, all of this doesn't matter that much when it comes to range, but it is useful information to know because it gives us something to really compare to. Yeah, 30,000 yards. She has 278 penetration, so she can penetrate the actual Mogamis without much of a way of issue there. But it does make it less likely with some of the other weapons there, really. Now, to really expand on this, so what we're going to do then is the CVE is going to head over this way, and they're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 during the night here, which is going to be quite good. So they should be around about this position here tomorrow, either here or around about here tomorrow. What we're going to do then is they're going to be met by the battleships Issei and Hyuga, with the heavy cruiser Nachi and Hakazi and Takikaze there as escorts. So they're going to go ahead and meet these guys. Now, they're going to arrive here in the daytime, more or less. I don't think they'll arrive at the same time. It may take them another turn to arrive and consolidate together, but that's okay. But the other part of our force then, which is the Takao, Atago, Ashigara, Kuroshio, and Ayanami, they're going to be merging with the light cruisers. Light carriers. But you can see here, this is where the light carriers are going to be during the night, and this is where we're going to be during the night, which is very good news. There is a chance that Ryujo and Zuiho are potentially caught, but the thing is they're moving at full speed. It's very unlikely. Their home base is set to Kopang. They're both set to low, well, this is now set to low threat threshold just to make sure, which is very good news. So we should be okay. They're following waypoints over here. I mean, maybe normal is okay. Maybe they don't run too much then. Hard to say. I think we should be okay. I think I will go to... I don't know, the thing with carriers is they will react by attempting to leave anyway. It could be potentially worthwhile to make sure they're on low reaction. Well, low threat threshold, I should say. But they should pull out without any worries there anyway. I think that is how carriers work in surface battles. They just look to pull out immediately. Or as soon as, well, applicable, really. It does make me wonder. I think we'll stick with a low threat tolerance. But yeah, so how this is going to work then is we're going to have them moving over there. The CVLs are going to move this way. The BBs are going to look to merge with them here. Now, THG may be expecting us to take the most direct route to Kopang. I know I always really explain these things kind of badly. So that would obviously be the most direct route in a sense. But what he's going to be looking towards doing is attempted to intercept along this line more than likely. So what we'll do then is obviously have the other half of the MKB head this way. But if these guys are heading out here at, well, maximum speed, full speed, we're going to take some system damage, but that's fine. As long as we get out of here, then that's fine. We only need to survive the night. If we can make it through the night, then we're really kind of home free in a sense. As we'll link up with the BBs, we'll also be underneath the cover of the G4M1s. But what you got to imagine is, like, as we're here, he's here. As he's here, we're here. So on and so forth. It's like we're always kind of like one hex at least ahead of him, which is good news. So that's going to be the plan in regards to the MKB. Now, we could potentially mess around with the aircraft aboard. So you're running the escorts here. How you doing there, Mr. Childebert? Childebert? I think that's it. Welcome to the stream, my dude. Okay. The other thing is, what I'm thinking here, then, is we run 100% combat air patrol with this force for the time being. The other one could be potentially left to escort. I think we'll have one of them run 100% combat air patrol to ensure, because the thing is, we are going to be moving this way. Like, if we take a look at where CV, they're going to end up about here. Now, the thing is, we are 8 hexes away. The thing that we do have to worry about is, well, there could be potentially, let's say, Hudson's, for example, enemy bombers of that nature. Those aren't too bad. Bombs are dangerous and all, but they're not as able to deliver a knockout blow, per se. And we do have a fairly decent combat air patrol around it. So, what we want to avoid here then is really getting into the range of torpedo-armed aircraft. So if I go over here then, we take a look at the Allied aircraft. What we're going to look for then is our good old friend, the Swordfish. And let's see if we can find them. If I sound a little bit different, by the way, it's because I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. Let's see. Swordfish, Swordfish. Right, okay. So we have the Swordfish over here. So you can see that this bad boy has a normal radius of 6. Standard range is 8. Let's see. Swordfish 2 has 6. Wildebeest. In normal radius. Standard radius. Okay. Normal with drop tanks is about 8 hexes there. It's one of those of where we've got to balance having the distance out there. We should be okay. Should be okay. Yeah, it's a difficult one, really, because it's like we've got to balance, like, really moving away far enough from the enemy while trying to avoid the enemy's airfields, but we should be okay with this. I think it's making the best of what we actually have here. I think I'm going to keep these guys on low threat threshold, just probably the safest method there, really. There we go. I think you put your CVLs at too much of a risk by choosing the direct route with no cruiser escorts. Well, they do have a cruiser escort. Oh, you're talking about the, I thought you meant like beforehand. Well, they don't need the cruiser escort per se. The thing is, they do have that speed. They may be potentially intercepted, but it's very unlikely. They're also going to be met by the BBs that are moving out to meet them. Well, sorry, the heavy cruisers moving out to meet them. They should be around about this point. But these cruisers will look to link up with them. The thing is, the reason why the heavy cruisers are with Hosho and Taiyo is the fact that these guys are slower and they could be potentially caught by that cruiser force moving. And if that cruiser is, if this cruiser force is moving about 38 knots or 29 knots or whatever of that nature, they would be able to potentially catch them. So that's why we need to have your heavy cruisers in there, just to make sure that if they are caught, at least then they can give a good count of themselves. I'm just saying, it is a potential possibility for CVs to go down here. It is a potential possibility. I think it's somewhat unlikely, because I think things will be okay. But it's one of these options here. He could potentially split his forces, but the thing is, if he splits his forces, then he's going to have less, which is fine by me. The Megami's, but this is it. There's always that option that he may pull out here. It's really hard to say what he's going to go for, but I do think he's going to continue to chase us. It's just one of these of where it gives us the ability to run these guys in this direction, run these guys in this direction. So at least, even if one of them is intercepted, the other one would more than likely survive. But I think we should be okay. I think having the big armies with the CVEs does give them a very good chance of, survival, really. So I think without the big armies, I don't think they'd really, I don't know, it's one of those that'd be a little bit worrisome. The good news is, during the actual day phase, if he's anywhere within this area here, he's going to get his ass chewed up. Absolutely chewed up. And on that note, I'm going to transfer over additional G4M1s as well, just to really try and drive home this point. We are going to set a actual directional area over here, like basically have them directed. This is when directional search patterns do come in handy. Now, I could give them 20%. I mean, it's hard to say. I'm going to have none of them rest this turn. I think I'll go with the bound. Well, we'll see here. We'll see how this turns out. I don't think we need to move them at top speed. See, the thing is, it's like, he's 2 hectares away. So even if these guys move at top speed, like i.e. full speed, would still be potentially intercepted over here anyway. So it's one of those of it's not really worth it. I do Lemodoki. I'm not entirely sure there, really. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's one for the developers, really. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, really, as to why. Maybe it's because it's an older... I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it just doesn't play well with, like, Steam. I have no idea, to be honest, my man. It is a good question. It is a good one. But okay. Right, what we're going to do here, then. So turn that rest off. Now, these guys are set to 14 hexes. Obviously, we can set that up. So 17 hexes is a range of which we can actually use the torpedoes. So what we're going to do here then is set on map. So left button start and right to end. I don't really need to cover much other than the actual area here, really. So what we'll do then is left. About right there. That's a little bit more than I was expecting. Well, there we go. So much for that system. We'll try that again. Okay, that kind of works. Okay. So if I take a look over here then, so you can see that we're going to be basically under the G4M1 cover over here. Well, under the G4M1 umbrella. This force is moving out here. There's a part of me that wonders, is it worthwhile having the G4M1s fly at night, but it's one of those where they're unlikely to actually make contact. It could happen, but it's not as high in regards to the chances there. And if we take a look at that, it's one of these of, is it worthwhile having so much of the way of search? It probably is worthwhile. They would probably vector onto the target due to the carriers in the area, but it's always worthwhile to make sure that they could potentially find that. But if we can actually patrol this area properly, that'd be quite handy. Yeah, I know. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to set all the G4M1s to this then, so if we double check. Now, I could give them additional aircraft. The only issue is they're not going to be ready in time. So they're both flying 8,000 feet, 8,000... Yeah, sorry, 8,000 feet, 17 hexes. These guys can only fly at about 12 hexes. What I'm going to do then is actually have them fly at 8,000 feet to make sure that they do coordinate. Take them off the rest there. Make sure we do have a couple available. Have still 30% on combat patrol. But yeah, so this is how it's going to work then. So if we take a look over here, they're going to head to the northeast-ish. These guys are going to head this way. The BBs are going to be looking to link up. Check these guys. It is. It really is a strong group. I mean, you guys saw what happened to the Sumatra last turn. She got torpedoed twice. The cruiser mine layers got torpedoed there. Now, it's saying there's potentially 3 ships in here, but I doubt that. I think that's a false report. Now, it's shown there's only a cruiser mine layer. I think it might be the Sumatra that's just been misidentified here. Do bear in mind we didn't hear the sinking sound through the Sumatra, so I think she's still afloat. But she's going to be critically damaged at this point in time here. Excuse me. Can you give the G4s all the planes they need? Yeah, but I'll give them then later. I don't want to have this many aircraft at Kopang. I can handle it, but I don't really want to have them here too much longer. I'd rather have one squadron here and another squadron over here. We will have another squadron in the near future that we can use elsewhere. Your flights may go for the closer target. Well, this is it, but the good news is at least by having so many here, at least we do have the potential to carry on, which is fine. She may go down or something of that nature. We may inadvertently run into her here, but that's okay. We're going for 0 reaction on these guys, just to try and avoid running into her, but we'll see. If we do, we do. I do have a submarine over here that I can potentially make use of too. But what I'm going to do then is, let's see. So you'd be over here. Now, what I'm instead going to do here then, is if I take a look then, so if we have the heavy cruisers over here, and we can assume, because the thing is, he's probably used a lot of fuel by now. So if we take a look at that, that's the actual pattern. Well, that's the path that we'd take that would be most direct. But if we take a look at the actual way this is all worked out, the first time we saw the enemy cruiser force was kinda, I don't know, I think we'd, maybe around this sort of area or something like that. So we can assume that he came from, I don't know, something from at least the north. But he arrived in this rough area. And then he's been basically chasing us since then, hasn't he? So the thing is, we don't know how much fuel he had to begin with. I mean, it's just, we can assume that they probably had, I don't know, maybe he had full fuel allowance when he arrived down here, but he's probably moved down here and that's taken maybe a few days for him to get down here. But for him to go to this position, because you bear in mind he was about 4 hexes away last turn, the reason why he's been able to catch up so much is the fact that, well, he burned full speed there, I do believe. So he's used a lot of fuel. You lose a lot of fuel when you burn it full. So after the stream, is THC going to get this turn? Yeah. There's a few more checks I'm going to do just before the end of the turn of that, but I will be sending off ASAP, really. But yeah, and that's kind of a general plan here. But what I want to do then is, we're going to use the submarines. I might take these submarines over here. If we take a look at the endurance, it's a decent bit of endurance. But I think what we're going to do then is potentially have these submarines head down here towards the Perth area. The reason being, I'd like to try and intercept him if he does retreat. So the further south these submarines get, the better, really. I will leave... it's one of those. Do we leave one of them? It's unlikely if anything's going to be going down here to Perth. Whatever's heading down here to Perth is probably already down here at Perth anyway. But yes, we're going to look towards intercepting his line of retreat. I will obviously organise these significantly better once we do get down there. The good news is I can actually refuel over here at Kopang as well, which is good news. Well, we will have more fuel to send out that way. Okay. To be fair, I actually did need to sort out these patterns. So what I'm going to do then is have this one head this way. I mean, you could refuel a Marie, it's dangerous, but you could potentially do it. Right, head out this way. Okay, we'll go for something like that. Try and cover this area, really. We'll get them into the rough area, then obviously we'll organise this significantly better. The thing is, I really do need float plane coverage in this area, or patrol plane coverage. That would be excellent. This sub's got a lot of fuel. There we go. Something like that would be okay for now. Now, something else that we are taking a look at is we do have these forces over here. What I'd like to do is let's take a look. So, I'm going to disband the casino. But what I'm going to do here then, if we go in here. How you doing there, Cola? Good to have you, my man. Am I looking at all task forces here? There we go. Right, so Kashina, we're going to load her tender. Now, only 300 tons are loaded here. That's due to the fact that she doesn't have... Yeah, that's using all her operation points, which is okay. In the previous turn, I was going to have her basically docked up and basically manually loading them on. But this is fine. By the time the CVs arrive back at Kopang, we'll have a decent bit of supply, but we'll keep putting the supply on each turn. But the thing is, we don't want to use all the supply here too quickly. And we don't want to have her basically taking up valuable space in the dock. So what we're going to do then is I'm going to head in here. So we've got the AO. That's good news. I don't think that he can / will move more ships into Sumatra, so I would move more subs into Oars. Well, it's one of these. We did see that he was attempting to move tankers out of the area, so I think it is worthwhile just to keep a few subs over there to the north. The south is unlikely, but I think the north still could be potentially a good option for him. But why? Right, so what we're going to do here then. I'm not entirely sure if I even bother keeping what I really want to do with these guys. They're handy, but I'm probably going to have the... hard to say, actually. Hard to say. It could be potentially worthwhile having these guys sent to Babaldoir to potentially pick up 3,000 supply. Port is expanding over there. I think for now, then, what we're going to do then is just have them run patrol in the area around Kopang. They also do act as a source of fuel if needs be. But right, what we're going to do here then. The sub-chase is going to be stood down. We're going to dock up the Kokuyu Maru. The reason why we're going to do this is we're going to unload the fuel here. Set this to unload. God damn it. There we go, unload. Okay, so she's going to unload that fuel. Now, she's not going to empty her cargo. But the reason why we're doing this is basically we'll have fuel in here at Kopang. We'll have fuel on board the oiler. The reason why this is a good thing is because then the oiler can refuel and the base can refuel. So that's very handy. It means that we can potentially refuel twice as much in half the time, really. So that's something that we're going to do there. Now, something else I was considering the fact is, I was talking to Infinite last night about this, and we've sank a good number of these actual mine sweepers here. Sinking these guys over here, on top of what we've already identified as being sank, would see, I think he begins the game with about 60 or so minesweepers, and this would take us to about 20-ish. So, if we sink this, because these guys are only moving a single hex per day, they're basically dead in the water, which means they're out of fuel. So they are still moving, but they are taking huge amounts of system damage, which isn't exactly great for him. But the thing is, it means that we do have the ability to run them down and destroy them. So I think that is a worthwhile endeavour. So we're going to send out some forces to go do that. The thing is, it's like, if we destroy them, we potentially take out a third of his minesweeping force there. We've actually sank a few of his actual cruiser mine lanes as well, which is very good. Like, he may not place much value on mine warfare at this stage, but when it comes into the time of where he's having to advance on us, when he's having to deal with our mines, he's going to feel the lack of minesweeping equipment. He's going to feel that. It's going to catch up with him before he realizes that, really. So what I'm going to do here, then, is, let's see. I'm going to take the, not the Naka. I'm going to take the Nagara, Zuyu. What I'll do then is send out these two guys here. That should be sufficient. Their job's going to be to head down here. In fact, what I'll do then, let's see. I'll give them another destroyer there, the Hakakazi, or Hodakazi. So that's 2 light cruisers, Nagara, Izuyu, and 3 destroyers. Well, this is it. But we're going to keep those subs in that area. They're not going to arrive down in Oars before they need refueling anyhow. Right. So what we're going to do then is we're going to have these guys actually head out. We'll say... I'm going to say towards the actual cruisers. The reason being, they're going to head out in this direct fashion here. But we're not going to go that way. But we're going to initially move in this direction. And then we'll move down here to the south. It means that at least we do have an additional force in the area. But also, he might not be aware that we're actually truly intending to strike out here, which is okay. It's going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be a very interesting turn to come. It's going to be potentially worrisome, but if we make it through the night phase, then we are going to be pretty much good to go. It's good to see that we have caused a good deal of damage to his forces. I.e. the actual heavy cruiser, Exeter, and I think it was Cape Town. So we're going to move the subs down there too. But yeah, it's a it's a very interesting situation. But I think this is the best plan. We are going to be very low on fuel, but the thing is we're going to be homebound there. If we take a look at the actual ranges here, so if we take a look, we're now currently 20 hexes away. He's 21 hexes. He's going to have to really take into consideration the G4M1s. Now the question is, does he know that they're coming from Kopang? I'm going to assume that he knows they're coming from Kopang. So this is it. He can't ignore them. He can ignore the actual surface ships. He's got 5 out of 5 detection on the actual surface ships, i.e. the battleships, etc. So he could potentially ignore them. But the thing is, he can't ignore the G4M1s. They have such a large amount of range. And, yeah, they're going to come to you. Which is going to hurt. Well, I mean, this is it. It's like, as I pointed out earlier on, what I'm going to do is show it again. So if we take a look. Yeah, this is what leads me to think that he's taking quite a bit of a pounding there. I mean, the Exeter being hit 3 times, we did see that we knocked out torpedoes, which is very good. Now, supposedly when you do knock out weapon systems, supposedly it can cause additional damage as well, which is excellent. Really good news there. But yeah, it's kind of make or break. Because the thing is, if we do lose a CV, then or 2 CVs or whatever, okay, it's gonna suck. He's gonna rub it in my face forever, but the war does not end. But if things go well, which I'm hoping they will do, and this is it, he's really gonna have to think now. Is it worth it? Can I catch these carriers? Because he's seen us only moving at cruise speed before this. We've not moved at full speed before this. Moving at full speed is very different to cruise speed. You are moving significantly faster during the night. Well, you're just moving significantly faster just in overall. So the thing is, I think he's going to go blood. I think he's going to smell that blood's potential in the water here. Because the thing is, he's paying for this. We haven't caused that much in the way of damage. I mean, I know what you say there, Mark. Like, the 250 kilogram bombs are not great. No, they're not fantastic. They're definitely not the 1,000-pound bombs that the Americans use. But the thing is, we did see deck penetrations. And I think if we watched the replay again, I'd really have to look at what happened to the Exeter. But I'm sure that when we hit the Cape Town, it was a deck penetration. The Exeter only has 25 deck armor. The Megami has 60, for example. That's something to bear in mind. If we take a look at our light cruisers, for example. Let's see, Nagara. Nagara has more deck armor than the Exeter. She has almost as much belt armor as well, but she has more deck armor. Well, this is it. Against CLs, and CLs pretend to be a CA, they are okay. Yeah, pretty much. They're not very well armored. They do have good guns, though. At least the Exeter has, like, pretty... And this is it. They're not the... they're probably fairly old at this point in time, or at least they're not... They seem very much like Washington Naval treaty ships, to be honest. They seem like they're very much made to have big guns with as little weight as possible, really. But the thing is, they're going up against the Japanese, and the Megamis are basically like, yeah, I mean, we're just going to ignore the treaty. We're just going to ignore that. But indeed. We'll see. I'm fairly confident if we do end up in a surface engagement, because at the end of the day, I mean, 2 heavy cruisers, 3 destroyers there, and these are modern destroyers as well, the Kinkiros, so that's very good news. We do have 5 destroyers here with the CVLs, and 5 destroyers ain't no joke either. The thing is, it's like, sure, he might be able to engage in the gunner duel, but that's good. I wouldn't be surprised if they aren't. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they are World War I era. Seems about right. And definitely treat cruisers like an economized version of the Pensacola's. Yeah, more or less. So that's what we're going to be doing here. I was considering potentially sending more out of the light cruisers here, but I think this isn't going to be going really potentially anywhere. I mean, Sumatra, yeah, I mean, she's one of the 3 Dutch cruisers, which is good news. We did previously see the De Ruyter over here, but then potentially the De Ruyter might have been... Oh, but I say the De Ruyter. I'm pretty damn sure we saw a light cruiser. I think we saw it as a report, or we saw a CL. I'm sure we saw something. I can't remember what it was. I think we might have had a submarine interception, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, I think what this is basically... There's maybe 5 British ships in here, maybe 2 Dutch cruisers perhaps, and then maybe another British cruiser? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe an American, but we'll see. I mean, if he retreats... well, this is it. The thing is, if he chases us... I mean, this is it. This is the thing. He's going to be like, okay, the CVLs and CVEs, they're so close. So close right now. And I'm paying for this. He's been chasing us, and we've been bombing him. We haven't caused that much in the way of damage. Well, we haven't hit that many times, but we are causing him damage, which is very good. So the thing is, it's like, we get through the night phase. We're going to strike at him again. And it's going to hurt. So this is it. At least by splitting the actual carriers, we do increase the chance that we do have a retardatory strike, or even a vengeance strike, really. And then if he's in this actual range here, he could be potentially hit by the G4M1s, or he's going to potentially run into the big guns over here. So it's one of these of where it is going to potentially, it may potentially cost him every cruiser here. This is it, really. How you doing there, Necro? How many victory points are the Allied cruisers worth? See, this is the thing, I can't tell quite yet. I don't think we've had one reported as sunk, so I don't know how much they're worth. Take a look at ships sunk. Pees me off I've lost so many of my own light cruisers. Like, she was nice. But alas, it is what it is. I was saying Houston, I mean, that's... And that's like, well, even then, look at Houston. She's not very well armored. Leander. Leander was, yeah, I mean, look at that beastie. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find if we have anything to compare it to, but I don't think we have anything to compare it to at the moment. They're not worth a lot, but they are still worthwhile sinking. And at the end of the day, these are probably the light cruisers that we did see escorting the CVL Hermes only a few days ago, really. So it's one of these. We can assume that the actual surface assets that he did have in the Java Sea are more than likely here. So if we sink them, then we might be in a position where we are green over here in the Java Sea. But there we go. So moving on from that, it's just gonna be a super exciting time next turn. We've got a good number of destroyers in here as well. So I think what we're gonna do here then is look to unload the fuel over here at Kopang. Look to get the carriers back here, get them rearmed, get them refueled, and to be honest, it is an interesting consideration. Do we come back out this way? But the thing is, if we come back out this way, are we likely to find targets? Because as soon as he knows that we're coming, he's going to run. And the thing is, we don't have that advantage of surprise anymore. So it's one of those of, is it a worthwhile endeavour? Probably not. So I think what we'll do then is really see how the next turn goes. But I think overall, the mission of the MKB then is going to be supporting operations against Java. We're going to be looking towards securing Den Pass in the next few days. And yeah, from there really just looking towards completely shutting down this area here and really preparing for the invasion of Java. There were more in combat value than their VP numbers tell. Well, this is it, isn't it, really? Like, even I mean, this is it. Even the Minesweepers, they're worth 1 point, but the thing is, well, they have a wider role to play in the war here. And the same here with these destroyers. Sorry, even these light cruisers. They're not exactly spectacular, but the thing is, it means he could have an escort somewhere. It means he could potentially intercept us somewhere. He could fight us somewhere. But if we take these away from him, then he's going to lose that. And it would be very nice. It would feel good to take cruisers away from him. So we'll see here. Well, they might be. They might be. But the thing is, we're going to have MKB supporting this area with her aircraft, not with her gunnery capabilities, obviously, in the BBs. We're going to be using the Zeros, using the airplanes, really to support our ground-based assets over here to really suppress the Java area. That's going to be the plan there. Now, another major plan, and this is something that I did spend, we did spend a long time talking about this one, is really how we're going to address China. Now, the thing is, we did previously see his units over here, and we've since lost sight. So speaking with Infinite last night, we kind of feel like it might be marching towards Chikyang, or Chikyang, potentially, because we don't see it over here. We haven't seen these numbers change. We've got 7 out of 10 detection here, 9 out of 10 detection here, 9 out of 10 detection here. If we take a look at the little roads, we can see that, well, it only goes here, here, and to Chikyang. So, there is an argument in dropping the paratroopers, but I don't think it's worthwhile. The reason is, I think it is jumping the gun. The reason for that is, well, if we drop and we're not in a great position to take advantage of the situation, I don't think it's worthwhile. So what we are going to do here, then, this is something that we were discussing last night, is kind of play a game with him. What we're going to do here, then, is basically, we're going to have the 104th Division begin marching south. And I may cancel this movement, but I may allow it as well. The reason is going to become a little bit clearer in the future. But what we need here is time. Above all, we need time. I'm going to have these guys plan for Hengyang. I'm also going to have the 38th Division join us over here at Hengyang. These guns, I'm going to take, obviously, the expeditionary forces over here. The 23rd Army can stay with us, but I think the actual... the 7th Army forces, the heavy artillery, I'm going to have head to Canton. They can head to Canton. I think it is worth it. May have to alter these actual settings. It looks like nobody's made much in the way of progress. So that's fine, I can cancel this. We'll cancel all these movements. I'm just going to reorder this, make sure nobody's following the 38th unless I want them to follow the 38th. But even then, I don't really want them to follow the 38th. What we're going to do here, then, is the 38th Division is going to move this position here to 7955, which is where the 104th is somewhat tasked to head, and this unit's headed towards the 23rd. We're going to have the 38th Division now. Originally, I wasn't willing to allow this, but I've since changed my mind. The reason is, if we can actually assemble a sufficient amount of AV south of Hengyang, we can potentially force the crossing and really put them in a very difficult situation. The way this is going to work, and the way I'm hoping it's going to work... Oh, do I have a purple? Ooh, that's kind of cool, but it's a bit too dark. I do like purple, though. That is my favourite colour. How's that? That's a bit too bad. Do we have a teal? Do we have a teal? We have a teal. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So what we're going to do then is flirt with the idea of having the 104th move down here. But these forces are going to be congregating here. The reason for this is what we're going to do then is take additional forces from this way. The 4th Brigade is going to be marching this way as well. The 6th Division is going to be marching this way. Ideally, I want additional divisions marching out from here. Well, what we're going to do then is have them head down this road here. and they're going to be heading here. But what we're going to do then is we're not going to remain here. At most, we're going to have one unit here. So what I might do then is just flirt with the idea of keeping the... flirt with the idea of having the 104th march south. But basically, once we start making some progress, just cancel that movement and then have it head south again. Basically, just keep it doing that. But keep at least one unit there, but all these other units that he's going to see, keep them moving out. Keep them moving to the south. And the reason is we're going to use this as basically our embarkation point, our assembly point. We're going to build up force over in this position there. The reason is he isn't likely to be able to see that. So what we're going to look towards doing then is assembling... I ideally would like 4 or 5, as many divisions as I can get here. I don't think we're going to bring armor. We might bring a little bit of armor, but I don't think we'll bring much in the way of armor. The reason being, if we can assemble the force over here, but most importantly, he does not move at Changsha. He doesn't move here. He doesn't move here. He doesn't move here. Yada, yada, yada. He doesn't move. That's what we need. We need him to remain static. We need China to be frozen right now. And the thing is, the paratroopers are superb, but the paratroopers, they change the dynamic of the game in China. If we drop, we don't know what the consequences are going to be. We don't know. We don't have control of the situation at all then. We do and we don't. The thing is, if we drop... Right, okay, that's brilliant, but the thing is, he's going to react. We do not want him to react. So this is how we're going to take things. We're going to take it slow, we're going to take it measured, but most importantly, we're going to take advantage of him. If he is happy to remain at Changsha, so be it. We'll take him. There we go. Can you lower the minimum bombardment range for the heavy cruisers when out? Because they see a bombardment at 15,000 yards and only use their 8-inch guns. Well... I'm fine with that. We could go for a bombardment with the smaller secondary guns. Let's see. Actually saying that our secondary guns are the 12.7s, but that means closing to 16,000 yards, which is 4,000 yards less. Okay, yeah, we can go with that then. We'll try that. 16,000 yards then. So every yard they're going to be heading back. We'll give it a go and see how much that does. It's all about having the detection over the actual base though. So what we're going to do here then is... Yeah, I was a little bit worried about defensive fire, but we haven't seen anything to be fair. In fact, you can keep on search. In fact, what I'm going to do is actually have these guys run at 8. So they don't need to... Okay, what I'm going to do here then... During the night... They're going to run reconnaissance over Wenkao. They're going to act as spotters there, really. But I will have a group that act as spotters during the day, too. Shokai, okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just change that in a second. Good spot. Okay. Right, there we go. Yeah, so we're going to have, obviously these guys are in naval search, but we're going to have the other two running reconnaissance, one in the day, one in the night, just to make sure we have reconnaissance over the actual base there. But ideally that'll make our bombardment all the more dangerous. But yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat tempted to have the bombardment continue over here with these guys. In fact, what I'm going to do then... Have them split up. I'm not going to bombard with them, actually. I'll just try and draw in replacements if I can. Okay, that works. Okay, if we take a look over here then. So we need 120 here. I only need 30 here. What I'm going to do then is have these forces march. They're going to march over here. There we go. So what I'm going to do then is get this armor moving. They're going to move there. And then begin to plan. Now, I do have this armor over here, but this is going to instead head to Canton. The reason is I can take advantage of that road, but it does mean that I can get additional armor into the area. So they're going to move over there. They're going to unload over there. The reason why... See, the thing is, it's going to be difficult. I mean, the issue is you take a look at these roads here. I think... I need to really check the numbers. But I think on a major road, I think you can move maximum speed. So I think it might be about 30 miles per day for the infantry, or 20 miles. It's one of those. I think you can move your maximum speed. But I think over a inferior road, I think you only move... You don't move as far. I think what it is. I need to double check it. I might have to find it in the manual, actually. I figure out the numbers up, but basically we need to take advantage of the main roads. Well, I suppose you could say the major roads versus the actual minor roads. I'm going to see if I can find it in the manual here, actually. Apologies about the code, by the way. Just going to see if I've got more Lemsit. Yes, I do. Oh, God, that tastes bad. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the part about roads. So I really do need to check it. I always like me to check when I never bloody do, because I'm lazy. Okay. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer them in a few minutes. Excuse me. Oh, bloody course, there's no section that says roads outright. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the section here. It says main roads, all weather, usually sealed main roads. Secondary roads, smaller or less well-built roads, still a faster way to move than cross-country. Let's see, I think 189. Ah, here we go. Fantastic. Yes. So in the main roads... Oh, this is fantastic, actually. I'm so glad I finally found this part. So the main roads, we move. So I'm just going to get this up. Right, it's already up. So these are the main roads here. These are the darker ones in main roads. Now, in the main road, artillery, AA, engineers move at 30 miles. Infantry moves at 30. Armor moves at 60. Anything else moves at 15. I do that, so not too much. Don't worry, my man. On a secondary road, AA, artillery, engineers move at 15. Infantry and paratroopers move at 15. Armor moves at 30. Everything else moves at 10. On a trail, it's 5, 10, 5, 3. So this is it. So let's see. Do I actually have an example of a trail? Do I have any trails? Yeah, that's the trail here. We're about an hour in. About an hour in. But yes, if you take a look over here, then this is a main road. So the infantry are going to move at 30 miles per day over this bitch. The thing is, when I have my actual tanks sent down here to Canton, we have a main road here, so they're going to move at 60 miles per day. Bear in mind, a hex is like, what, 45 miles of that nature? I think it's about 45 miles each. So we're going to be able to make some really good progress here. The only issue is this is a secondary road. So rather than moving it 30 miles per day, we're going to be moving it 15. Which is a shame. So what we could ideally do with doing is really try to assemble as much force by canton as we could, which is a little bit harder. Previously we did have brigades in Cow, but we do not. We move them out. But yeah, we'll go with that. So yeah, what we kind of want to do then is keep this unit dancing really for the time being. Just keep a single unit here, but have it look as if it's moving to the south. The reason is then he's going to feel like, okay, well, he's moving to the south. Maybe he's reacting towards Nanning. Maybe he's not doing the thing I fear, which is also getting ready to cross the river. Like, we are getting ready to cross the river, but we kind of want him to feel like we're heading elsewhere, or we're doing something else. So that's quite good. And I think it's the way where we might be able to potentially achieve surprise. And if this unit does end up in Jikyang, I mean, what I'm going to do here then is, let's take a look. I'm going to take my reconnaissance aircraft. So these guys... I don't think they actually run reconnaissance here. Did I actually set that to run? Or did I miss it? Holy shit. Maybe I thought I set it and maybe I just forgot. Okay, shit. That kind of opens things up a little bit. Huh. We're not going to drop the airborne. But the airborne are ready to drop at a moment's notice. Okay, but this is interesting. God damn, I wish I could have these guys, like, spread out. That'd be great. To be fair, I could probably have them... 10,000 feet's okay. Thank you very much for military history visualize. Yeah, this is the guy who got me to stream. Like, previously I was nursing my cold with a good cup of Lemsit and self-misery, playing Star Sector. And it's like, are you gonna stream? And I'm like, man, if the Pope calls, Christendom answers. And I do find myself entirely too funny, and it's really quite a problem. But thank you very much there, man. Really appreciate it. But indeed. So I think we should be able to get away with 10,000. Operation Best Point. Yeah, we're not going to drop yet. We don't need to drop. We have the ability to drop, but we'll see. But let's take a look over here then. So we run reconnaissance over here at Hengyang. The plan is, it's unfortunate because I did just explain, but basically what we're going to do here then is, well, it looks as if I might not have actually run the reconnaissance over here as I previously did think, but what we're going to do here is going to run reconnaissance over here along this road. So what we're going to do then is figure out where the unit is that was previously here. The thing is, like, Jikyang is a nice target, but Taeyong matters more than Jikyang. The reason is, obviously this is a rail line. It would mean that he could only move to this position here, rather than all the way up here. We know there's 2 units here. The only unknown at the moment is where this unit is. But if I didn't run the reconnaissance, then it might still be here, which would actually make our problems disappear, really. But the actual thing that we're going to do here, and the way we're going to change the approach to the situation, is the fact that we have opened the hex side up south of Changsha. So if I take the arrows off, because they're a little bit ostentatious, well, a little bit egregious. Egregious is a good word. Okay, let's see. Right. We're going to go for the CSI Miami approach. Whoops, that was not the approach I wanted. Let's see, I need to do Windows and plus. Okay. Enhance. 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 It makes me laugh too much. But yes, oh, okay. No. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, let's go back. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go back in. Okay. So as you guys can see here, we were previously able to march along this road here due to the fact that we controlled this hex side and this hex side. God damn it. Why does it do that? How the game works. Oh. Yeah, the game does not like being zoomed in like that. Right, so let's try it again. Yeah. Fuck. Right, there we go. Okay, it's working again. Right. So as you can see, now that we had the 8th Armoured Car Company move into Changsha, we've taken control of this hex side. God damn it. Taken that hex side control away from him. So now we're able to use this road. Like, I can't move out from Changsha in this direction due to the fact that he controls this hex side. This is how land warfare works in Wonder Pacific. So now that we have this open, it means that we're able to move forces both into Changsha, which we could do beforehand, but only from here. But we can actually have them, importantly, move out from Changsha using that road. There we go, we'll get rid of the CSI Miami approach there of just like enhancing shit and expecting it to look better. But what I'm going to do here then is, let's see, sort by AV. So we have the 6th Division that's moving, so they're moving south. And now what I'm going to do here then is look for another strong division. So rebuild the A Division, so the 15th Division, 89, and the 12th. Now, yeah, it seems like if I like hover over something, it kind of bugs up. But what I'm going to do here then is these guys are going to head for Hengyang. It's a decent bit of force moving out 3 divisions here. I think I can get away with it though. The reason being, because he's going to be vaguely aware of the numbers in Changsha to a degree. But when you take a look at this, so you can see, for example, that it says here is all those units being listed, and then you see, well, plus 79 more LCUs. That's due to the fact that we have all our divisions split up here to take advantage of replenishment. So we also do have units moving into Changsha. We have units moving in this area. It is possible for us to assume that his reconnaissance in this area is rather poor. He doesn't really have much in the way of aircraft. And if I take a look over here then, the only aircraft that we can see on the ground here is at Quailin. We don't see aircraft here, we don't see them here, nor here, nor here, nor here, nor here, nor here, or even here, or at Nanning, or at Chang. So everything in this immediate area, everything in this area of China, doesn't have aircraft. Barring Quailin. His most likely base where he does still have aircraft is probably over here at Chongqing. That's probably where he has his aircraft. So if we take a look there, I mean, from Chongqing to Chikyang is 5 hexes, from Chongqing to Shaoyang is 7 hexes, to Changsha's 9 hexes. The thing is, that's kind of like at the limit of his operational range for aircraft. I don't know, it depends really. It depends really what he'd actually have, but I doubt he has like reconnaissance assets. He might have some bombers they might be using reconnaissance roles, but I doubt he has really very good pilots, that sort of thing. So, we're kind of playing with him here. We're trying to use psychology, but we're also trying to use our numbers, but use our... I suppose this is it. Try to trick him. Try to make him feel somewhat at ease, because this is it. You can see now, with the 104th Division, you can see that they've got the little arrow indicating that they're moving to the south. So he's going to be able to see that, more than likely. If he sees that unit, he'll be able to see that, which means he'll be thinking, okay, well, they're moving to the south. Okay, that's fine. So what we do then is we basically build up forces until we're ready. The only issue is it's going to take us a little while to move through here. So what we'll do then is we'll run reconnaissance here, here, and here as well. We'll run reconnaissance across the entire road, perhaps. The reason is we need to identify where... Well, we need to figure out where that unit is. Maybe it's still here, and maybe I just fucked up and meant to click and misclicked or something. But we're going to find out. So they're running that reconnaissance there over Quailin. You're running reconnaissance there. Okay. What I'm going to do then is take reconnaissance over here. You're running at Changsha. Shaoyang. What I'm going to do is run it there. To Yun. Changtai. Run it there. Okay. So now we're running reconnaissance across each hex on here. Which might be overkill, but then again, it's one of these things of... he's seen Japanese aircraft over all of his bases, over all his units for quite a while now. Is it really that much out of the ordinary? Probably not at this point. So we're going to run reconnaissance over here. And then we'll run it back over here. He's still got a damaged airfield over there. But I think it's fairly likely that if he is moving this way towards Chikyang, he may just look to move to one of these bases or move over here or something of that nature. Even if he stops over here at Chikyang, then it's not the end of the world, because it's still only held by a single base force. It's not going to do jack shit. It'd be better to take the base there from him, but if he takes it and if he occupies it, then okay, that's fine. The paratroopers give us a... It gives us an ace in the hole, really. It gives us something that we can play that he's like, okay, I didn't expect that, nor can I immediately respond to that. So that's what we're looking to use them for. I think if we were to drop them now, it reveals the surprise, and we're not in a position to take advantage of it yet. 400 AV is not enough. And it's 463 AV. It's a very strong division. It's a full division, but it's still not enough. It's not strong enough. We need more. So we'll find that. We do have the Kayoko. They're moving there. So they're going to move. They're going to do the same. We have that artillery moving in there. But what we're going to do here then is grab this artillery. And these guys are going to move here. They're not particularly useful, but hell, we'll take them. Southern Army, you're going to move to Canton. But if we can grab some additional tanks over here, that'd be great news. Southern Army as well, they're going to move there. At least the actual ships moving in here could pick them up. The true attack, well, it's going to be a few days at least, really. We just need to be in a really good position. We need to have enough force over here at Hengyang. If I can get about 1,000, 2,000 AV, as much AV as I can manage south here of Hengyang, and ideally keep him in the position that he's in at the moment, then we would... What we want to do here, then, is we really want to be in a position where we can cross the river at Hengyang, and it's going to result in a shock attack. I think if we get 3-to-1 odds on the first attack, or 4-to-1 odds on the first attack, then we actually do force him to retreat. I think how it works is, it depends on his fort level. So for each level of fort level, you need those odds. So, for example, if you had a level 1 fort level, if we had, like, 2-to-1 odds, then we could force him to retreat from the base, I do believe. If he has a level 2, then it's, I think it's like 2... No, I think it's like 3-to-1 if it's level 3, it's 4-to-1. It's something like that. I think that's roughly how the system works in terms of fort levels. But yeah. So if we can assume that he's got at least 2 cores over here, then, so he might have... it depends really how strong they are, but I don't know, maybe 300, 350 each core, perhaps. So you might have an adjusted AV of about... Yeah, about 700-ish. I mean, this is clear terrain, so it's only going to be the 4 levels that matter. So the more AV we can assemble here, the better. We want him to stay here, because we can keep bombing him, which is fine. He can't do anything about that. And that's absolutely fine by me. So still going in here at 3,000 feet. The good news is these guys, they didn't look to drop on Changshan last turn, so it looks like they've had a little bit of time to rest there. Let's see. Hankow. Yeah, we're good for aviation sport. We are expanding the actual airfield, so we will have more capacity over here as well, which is good news. We can handle it now, so that's excellent, but it would be nice to have more. But yeah, we're going to keep on hitting him, really. So all the time he's here at Changsha, he is being bombed. And it's going to hurt. It's going to continue to cost him. And cost him, and cost him more, cost him more, and cost him more. It improves our guys' experience as well, which is awesome. You can see these guys are gaining experience, which is good. You can see the ground bombing is looking like it's going to change. Okay. Yeah, bombing accuracy 38% there. Well, this is it, but we do have reconnaissance over the airfields, and if there is something on the airfield, you do tend to find out about it. And yeah, we'll go with that, then we'll continue 3,000 feet. They're going to continue to escort. I think what we'll do then is have them at 10,000 feet. I think brown, I forget what brown is. I think it's like... Let's see, I'm going to find it in the manual. The manual does come in handy so many times. Let's see. If anybody wants to ask a question, feel free in the meantime. It's going to find in the manual. Tell you it's a great manual. But it doesn't tell you everything. That's the only issue. Excuse me. Right. Red indicates a decrease in experience. I think orange may indicate a... I forget what orange means. I'm not entirely sure what it means at this moment in time. I think it just means that they've remained. I'm not entirely sure. I know it means something, I can't remember what it means at the moment. Green means they've gained experience. They may have gained experience, but I don't know. We'll see. We'd have to double check and compare it. But we'll just say orange means its own goddamn thing at the moment. I don't know how much else I could say about beyond that one at this moment in time. But yeah, that's what we're going to do there. Right. These guys have just arrived, which is good news. We're going to have them unpack and begin marching towards Changsha. That's going to be additional engineers. I mean, this is it. So you can see that this is a... it's actually a main road. Oh, fantastic. That's brilliant news there. So they're going to march that way. AA's in position here. Have them just stay there. These guys, have them in combat mode. They're within 9 hexes, so this is the China Expeditionary Army Command Headquarters. This is under the command of General Hata Shiroku. You can see within 9. So basically everything within 9 hexes here does benefit from having the command here. So we do have a little bit of additional assault value there. Okay. So you can see these guys do have a command radius of 1, but they're going to be handy. They'll be handy. It gives us additional aviation. Sorry, aviation, assault value. Goddamn. I'm off my tits on fucking Lemson. Oh dear. Okay. So we're going to look towards dealing with this unit over here as well. Going to take some time there. I mean, maybe I could shock attack it, but I don't think it's worth shock attacking quite yet. Especially in this sort of terrain, I don't think it's worth it. If we force them into the clear terrain, then hell yeah. We'll do that. I'm half tempted to have that base force move up. It's not really doing me any good here. Okay. Right, there we go. 4th Air Division. They need to go into combat mode. These guys need to be moved out. I'm going to have them sent elsewhere, but they're going to be fantastic, actually. I'm going to probably have them sent to the Dutch East Indies. But they're going to come in a lot of use. A lot of use in the near future. Red gained 1 turn back. Okay. Right. So we do have additional supply being unloaded over here. As you can see, at Wuchang, we do have 39,000 tons of supply. Hankow has 26,000 tons of supply. How much supply can I actually handle here? 55,000, sorry, 53,000. So not a good idea to put additional supply in there. It's unlimited over here, then that's good news. So we'll have that supply actually... Well, they're already... It looks like they're already at Henyang, actually. Let's see. Hankow, sorry. Yeah, I think they're already... Yeah, it looks like they're already here at Hankow. So what we're going to do then is have them unload the supply over here, which is good news. And this is it. We're building up the amount of supply. We're building up the amount of assets we have here. Oil's okay. It's going to last for a little while longer. And I'll save it so I can show you guys. But yeah, we have a few hundred days of... It might be under a year's worth of fuel at this moment in time. We are going to be running more fuel out to Japan shortly, really. Enjoy my awful desktop, because I definitely do enjoy seeing it. Okay, 199. I do intend to do a tutorial of how to actually use a tracker. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, because you have to mess around with Java, and Java's a pain in the arse. Okay. Yeah, 199. Get the tracker loaded. But yeah, it's been a good turn so far. Like, last turn was very nice. Could have been better, but it was nice. We have a pretty robust plan in place for the MKB, so that's quite good there. I don't know what that means there, Zoe. Okay, wait for that to load. Okay. Ah, there we go. Cargo's apparently completed repairs. That's quite good. We'll double check on that. These destroyers have completed repairs as well. That's good news. China Expeditionary Army. Okay. This is current turn. Okay. Oh, right, obviously, because I've, yeah, that makes sense. I suppose those units, so yes, they have technically arrived. Okay. What I'm going to do here, then, is industry. So, what I'm going to do, then, regional, let's see, Japan. Sold by heavy industry. And this one. Supply and fuel. Right, there we go. Right, sold by heavy industry. It only matters with fuel having it be heavy industry there, really. So you can see here we have 486 days worth of fuel currently stockpiled at Tokyo. 309 days worth at Osaka, Kyoto. Obviously, this fuel would travel around. This oil would travel around, sorry. The fuel, we have 198 days worth of fuel at Tokyo, 159 days of fuel at Osaka, Kyoto. But obviously this fuel does travel around, but 726,000 barrels there. We'll say, yeah, million barrels, whatever you want to call it, but a decent amount. In terms of actual supply we have, well, fuel that we have, there's 1.971 million barrels. I'm just going to say million barrels of fuel in Japan at the moment. We do produce domestically 8,055. Obviously, we do have a deficiency of 4,085 per day. So it looks like in total we have 162 days worth of fuel in Japan at this moment in time. But we'll have more. Oh, right, okay, that's fine. I'll research. We can't have more carriers than historical. We kind of get what we're given, really. But yeah, I mean, let's take a look here then. If we take a look at the actual global chart, so if we take a look at the actual chart per se, when it loads up, that is. Okay. Okay, just makes the actual screen bigger, not the chart. Oh well. Okay. So you can see fuel is this blue line. So you can see fuel is... We did have an uptake over here, which is interesting. Obviously, that had been like arrival of fuel from elsewhere, perhaps, or we might not have actually kick-started the industrial expansion quite so much. But you can see that the fuel has been slowly but steadily declining over here. Now, we obviously do need fuel ASAP. But that'll come. You can see that resources actually has been increasing over here. You can see this is really when the convoy system really started kicking in there, which is very good news. You can see, well, this is it. We were basically exhausting supply, well, exhausting resources because we weren't doing it efficiently. But this is when we started doing it more efficiently. You can see this continue to steadily increase. Supplies are interesting. Because light industry produces supply by just using resources. I can actually show you how it works. So, like, on the chart. Okay. So, each resource center, we control 14,817 resource centers. Each resource center produces 20. So, when you see on the map, bring it up over here. So, at Changsha, for example, you see there 22 resources. Now, what that means is 22 resource centers. So, those 22 produce 20 resources each. And you can see, with light industry, it looks like, let's see, 15... and that produces 1 supply. But you don't need fuel. But for heavy industry, you need 20 resources and 2 fuel, it seems. But that produces 2 supply, I believe. And then obviously the heavy industrial points. So it's more efficient in the actual resource usage, but it also needs fuel. But that's fine. You can see this is kind of how the chart works. It's a very interesting system, really. I don't think there's really any other game that really has something like this. So it's really awesome. But anyway, we'll take a look at the air production while we're here. Well, we are here, not while we're here. God, my English is terrible. So, air production, let's see. Building. Sort by that. Right, so we have 40 zeros in the pool at the moment. Getting closer and closer. We do need more zeros, so I think I'm going to be potentially... we do have a glut of Ki-21 production facilities, so I think what we might do then is actually take some of these production facilities for the Ki-21s and actually have them potentially... well, one of them potentially put onto producing more A6 and 2 zeros, and potentially another one... hard to say really what else we'd want to have them on. It's something I'm going to be thinking of in the next few days, really. But yeah, you can see over here, but we're still producing the Ki for the 31Cs. When will 0 be obsolete? Well, the thing is, it's a good aircraft. It does... I mean, this is it. As Japan, is it ever really obsolete? No. Because we kind of don't have a choice in using it. We kind of need everything we can get. Like, it's not going to be the cutting edge. But we're going to be looking towards having the... let's see, R&D. Okay. Switched over to the two-way Tojo, which is good. But, right, okay. A6 and 3, right. So looking at the A6 and 3. There we go. About halfway into the year here. But we're not going to be producing the A6 and 3. We're going to be really unlocking the A6 and 3 and then immediately going towards the A6 and 5 0. Which is going to be nice. We should have additional aircraft, new airframes in the mid part of the year. So in mid-1942 we'll have the KR-44-2A Tojo as well. If we take a look at availability... yes, it looks like the Tojo arrives near the end of the year. You can see the A6 and 3 arrive halfway through the year. The D4Y1C Judy arrives next year. We can look towards bringing this a little bit closer, but I think this is kind of the rough estimate. The R&D system is a little bit convoluted. Indeed. Okay. There's still much about this game that I'm learning. And it is awesome. Okay. So 280 of these guys in the pool here. I'm not entirely sure about the Toka, to be fair. Okay. So what we'll do then is we'll go to the map. Search arcs. So you can see this is MKB. Now I don't know why that's showing that. It's obviously incorrect. Oh, I do need to look at the submarine over here, actually. So it's kind of our naval search in these areas for the time being, man. Obviously, this is a Kido Butai over there, MKB's down there. But you can see that we do have a good deal of naval search around Kopang at the moment in time. Yeah, that's the BB force and CAs. with the Jakes. Then obviously that's the MKB. Okay. So we did gain some nice points here, which is very good, very good. We are narrowing the gap, because obviously the fact is, there are bases out there that are worth victory points to him, so when we take those, that denies it to him, and obviously we gain as well. So we are getting closer and closer, which is good news. Okay. Bring the game back up. Let's see. Right. You're gonna come off the rails. You're coming off as well, okay. These guys at Lo Yang. They're moving towards Cheng Chao. That's good. So what we're going to do over here in the northern areas of China is we're going to assemble a force to... Yeah, we're going to look towards assembling a force over here at Cheng Chao to march up towards Nanyang. From Nanyang, I'm going to march up towards Xi'an over here, actually. Will you use more than one Naval Guard unit to defend Umeya? The base itself, I don't see more than one being necessary. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't see needing more than one Naval Guard unit. 61st, Tarawa, Numair, Luganville. I'm going to have that march over to Comac, more than likely. But if we take a look then, so 61st is here. Maizuru, 1st SNF is here. I don't see more than 3 Naval Guard units on the island of New Caledonia, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way of looking at that AT. So they do still come in handy. This is it, as Japan, eventually we will have the ability to use kamikazes, and we can put that to good use. Actually, while I'm down here in the south, I'm going to have these guys organized. Okay. I'm going to have it initially head near Norfolk and then down towards Wellington Palms. No, I don't have any engineers there available yet. Yeah, you don't have a float plane. So then again, I should really have you operate with float plane equipped aircraft. We know there's something heading along here, which is interesting. In fact, have you head for the most direct route towards Auckland. And then we'll sort your patrol pattern out. These guys both do have a float plane, which is good. I-9 has a Glen. I-10 has a Glen. A little bit low in ammunition, but that's not too bad. And right again, head for Auckland. Ideally, we're able to pick up an additional assets when he moves into the area. Now, I-10 doesn't have as much in the way of torpedoes, so I'm going to have her really run a patrol pattern this way, between Norfolk and New Zealand, really. I'd like to potentially have more in this area, so we'll have it head that way. I-18. Yeah, when we actually have float planes in the area, it does mean that we have significantly more effective submarines there. Okay. But what we are going to do then, after speaking with Infinite, he does suggest that basically just look to stay about 5 hexes away from the enemy's bases with submarines, to be fair. So I'm going to have these guys move. But what we're going to do here then is, let's say, for example, from Pago to Wellington, what's that path line? Vanish, I should really change that. Yeah, I'm going to try and get an engineer unit to New Mayor. I've got cargo ships at Lucanville at the moment, and we'll have it that way around. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'll tell you what, pees me off sometimes that they don't always move the same route. But what I'm going to do then, if we take a look over here, is we do see these hexes. These are going to be the hexes I do patrol. Think about... maybe about that, then heading back in towards Wellington. Might have that change a little bit. Though... that should be okay. Though while it is down here, I'm going to have this Jake head out just completely. I just want it out there. Just until I can get another submarine down here. So let's take a look. That's about 4 hexes, which is okay. That's fine. Should be alright with that. I could maybe... well, actually, I think what we'll do is run it a little bit further out then. So 1 more hex over. There we go. Now, ideally, we'll pick up any convoys heading into this area. And New Mayor could become a big logistical base for the USA. Well, that's it, really. Okay, but we've got our submarines moving in the area. This submarine is going to continue to head south. Why are you resting 100%? Okay, that's obviously not right. I think it was, yeah, that makes sense. It was obviously stood down due to be repaired, so that makes sense. So yeah, what we're looking at doing then is just improving our patrols around here. You unfortunately do not have... Let's take a look then. Let's see. I can assume he... I don't know, maybe he's doing something with Norfolk, but I can assume that the most likely way for him to move from here is... if he was to move from Wellington, he's probably going to move up this way. So if we take a look... about here is really what I want to be patrolling. Start your patrol there. Have it about there. There we go. You know, I think I've heard about this Azure Lane. I think my little brother's actually watched it. I've not seen myself, though, actually. Do the 3 lines in the north have ports? That one does. That one doesn't. That one has an airfield, which is why it's most important. We did previously attempt to take it, but unfortunately it didn't work out for us. Which kind of sucks. I want 73. Yeah, sadly no. Patrol plane. But you can head down here. We're going to really look towards enforcing a submarine embargo around New Zealand. See you later then, MHV. Have a good one, my man. I mean, don't be afraid to give a shout out. That tasty, tasty shout out. Nom nom nom. Oh dear. See you later, dude. Have a good one. Yeah, so we're gonna have submarines moving down this way. We do have these 2 submarines over here I'll be able to get available soon. Oh god, it's like having the Pope on. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, these guys are heading south to truck. Sorry, not to truck, to Luganville. So they're going to unload that fuel. It's not a huge amount of fuel, but it's enough to actually get the submarines in operation. This guy's a little bit more complicated, but I can have him move over here to Luganville once we get fuel there. Xipang. I've heard about that. I'm sure I heard about something called Xipang. Somebody told me about it a while ago, actually. But like all things, I do forget to check. Okay. Okay, Kashai's over here now. Yeah, that's true, Vanity. I mean, I'm going to have some time after this stream just to go through things and double check them. I'm just getting the majority of orders in here, and then I'm going to, like, basically just curl up into a ball and die for a little bit, recover from my cold. Oh, good God, this Lemsit's so bad. It tastes like crap. Okay, you're heading south. Arrow 64, be able to refuel there soon. Yeah, I mean, what we're doing here then is, I don't know. The whole debate regarding where his carriers may or may not be does worry me. And I think, in all honesty, it's worthwhile. We know he's been using New Zealand for convoys. So I think this is it. If we can really lock the area down, now is the best time to do so. Because we're not really going to have another opportunity in the future, are we? Because, well, his ability to... Well, yeah, I mean, this is it, basically. His ASW is going to be fantastic. And in all honesty, I think the carriers are at Pearl Harbor. If they're going to be down here, then I don't know. I'm going to have to go. Like I said last time, if they do turn out being down there, I'll go AFK, go pour a glass of wine, and then come back. And toast to a very interesting situation. Okay. I do want to get something down here to survive in terms of engineers. To which I counter risk the Kashai, but I don't. What do I really want to be doing here? Yeah, we've got a lot of submarines vectoring down there, to be honest. A hell of a lot of submarines. It's going to be great, to be honest. Ideally, we'll be able to shut down New Zealand. For Savai, it'd be great to have the ability to run naval search out here. We do have plans in place for this, but much depends. Much depends on what we do. But I tell you what, actually, I could potentially use Kashai. I think I'll have her run down to Luganville. She can pick up the actual SLF from Luganville, and she can use them to take these islands in this area, or move them around to the actual base over here in New Caledonia. If I take a look at these forces here. Okay. Right. Fast transport. The DMSW7. Low troops. That kind of sucks. I'll tell you what we're going to do here then is you're not going to go and do that. I'm going to have you move off the coast of Noumea so you can begin to clear mines out from Noumea. In Survive, we have like a Naval Guard unit. So it's about, it's a full strength unit from the looks of it, really. So it's a fair strength there, 936 infantry, 752 support, 12 guns there. It's not the largest unit, but it's not going to be easy for him to take out there, really. The thing is, this guy has been sat here for a long time. The shame is that they have no engineers, so they have no fortifications. Had they had some engineers in the unit, they would have been building fortifications, but they do not have that, so they can't. But yeah. They're building up planning for Savai, and the thing is, once they get maximum planning, they begin to build up their experience, which is really good. I think if they're below, like, the national, then they build it up to the national experience. But yeah, it's one of these. It's like, if I was him, I would have been bombing the ever-living shit out of Savai months ago. Well, yeah, just weeks ago. There's really no reason why he's not bombing this. Unless he intends to take it back, but if he does, then sure, that's fine. He's going to have to go through them. Okay. I don't want to go that close to Fiji, actually, so I'll have him head this way. Okay, the PBs are undetected at the moment, and they're also moving to Flafuti. Okay, fuck it, we're gonna give it a shot. What I'm gonna do here then is actually turn these into 2 separate task forces. We're gonna try and get something to survive. It's hella crazy, hella dangerous, but it might work. But what I'm gonna do then is have them both head to survive, but from different directions. Ideally, he may detect one or the other, but we'll see. He may not expect us to be landed forces with PBs, so we'll see about this. But kind of what I'm going to attempt to do here then is I want to get something into survive. If I can get an engineering unit into survive, then we're really in an interesting position then, because we've got engineers then on the base. I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. I just hope he doesn't know about that. I am going to have engineers moving to Canton Island. I've got the Chichijima Special Base Force moving to Canton Island. They're going to be there in 2 days. So that's a lot of engineers and a lot of aviation support. So it's a good size unit. Yeah. So we'll try that. Can we make calculations of the number of supplies needed to build whatever you have in mind? Well, to be honest, we already have a air base and a port. I don't need anything beyond that. That's fine for me. I mean, forts, yeah. It is what it is. If I take a look, the island is jungle rough. So it's ×3 defensive terrain. An airlift would be safer to survive, but the thing is, I'm going to take the chance here. I'd like to get additional supply in here. We'll give it a shot. If we see we're detected, we can always pull off. But I think we'll give it a shot. It's just I have my transportation aircraft over here in China. No, I don't believe so. I think we're okay. These guys aren't ready yet, goddamn. Sorry, excuse me, man. I think the rules are different for Japanese. It might be level 2. I think it is level 2 for G3s, G4s. But yeah, I think it's level 2 for G3s, G4s, and etc. But I'm not going to be using G3s or G4s to survive. I'm going to be using the H6Ks or Jegs, really. So if I didn't answer that correctly to begin with. So yes, I will rescind my earlier comment. I do believe you need level 2 airfields for the G3, G4s. But H6K4s or Jegs, they're fine. We don't even need an airfield. But I do need aviation support. Okay. Over here at Talawa we're unloading. Have them dock up. Okay. I'm going to have them take some of these troops out from here. No, the Mavis is actually whereabouts are the Mavises? I can't remember this moment of time. Where are they again? Ah, they're over here at Reutemer. There really isn't anything to stop him from doing that, and the thing is, I don't know why he's not done it. But the thing is, we don't need the airfield anyway. But if we can get some engineers over there, that's nice. So the reason why I'm sending these guys is because they've got the coin loaded already. We'll give it a go. If they look like they're going to be detected, or if they're detected, we'll get them out of there. But I'll give it a go. We can always pull them out. But the thing is, it's like... I'm going to take a risk with it. We can use these HSK L2s in the future, if needs be. To be honest, it's a shame that we don't have any paratroopers down here, because we could have potentially invaded these islands. I did at one point as well. I don't know why I did consider that. These guys are heading over there. But yes, let's take a look. Okay. If I take the PP zone. No? Oh yeah. No transfer. Yeah, we're going to grab these islands. I've got the Kashai. She's going to head to Luganville, pick up some additional troops there, really. He's got some pretty big airfields in Fiji now. He's got level 5 over here at Suva, so he could potentially use B-17s if he wanted to. And level 2 over here at Nardi. But that's fine. The thing is, it's like, I want him to build these airfields up because we can take them from him in the future. Okay. I'm going to move the 36 JNAF. Right. Verify load. Low troops only. Right, I'm gonna have that unit taken across on these guys. They're gonna head to Comac and then march down. Until we know that the base... Well, until we know that the port of Noumea is clear, we'll have them head to Comac. Yeah, we build some airfields up. We build a airfield up to a maximum size of level 4. Beyond that, there's no real need for us as the Japanese. Like, we're building Luganville. Well, the thing is, even if he has B-17s, the thing is, it's like, let's say he tries to bomb Luganville. That's 17 hexes. That's still a long way. So the thing is, even if we're not causing him a huge amount of damage, even if we cause a little bit of damage, he may potentially lose his aircraft to operational. But the thing is, he's got 4 engines on those bad boys, so those are like service-rated 4 aircraft. So they'll break down sooner or later, especially if we keep them damaged. Not to say that they can't do a lot of damage against us, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. These guys are undergoing training. Yeah, we're heading out and around. Actually, I think you need to... I'm going to have you refuel... Sorry, actually, no, Wake's okay for the time being. You can go to Rebel. Or do we go to Rebel? Well, we're marching on Singapore at the moment. In fact, do I have them head to Rebel? Okay, you can take supplies away. Oops. Yeah, we're going to be at Singapore the next 2 days, really, which is going to be bloody as hell, but I don't know, we'll see how long it takes to take Singapore. It's probably going to take a while, but we'll see. It's not going to be as easy as it was historically, because obviously we're not going to have a Percival surrender in the base. Okay. I mean, potentially so. If there are CVs to the south, then potentially so. But the thing is, we wouldn't look towards taking a engagement other than really in the area around Luganville. We'd look to be within like 12 hectares of Luganville, really. The reason being that we'd benefit from having the ground-based aircraft supporting us, which is excellent. Being able to actually have torpedo-capable aircraft assist in a carrier engagement is just really profoundly good. I don't know if he knows that we have them here, but I'm going to say probably not. Hard to say. Yeah, look at that. So the damage has been repaired here, which is really nice. Let's get in there, which is excellent. Taking a few days, but we have a few days here. It's absolutely fine. Nagato's still under repairs here. Yeah, his torpedo bombers do suck. Like, his dive bombers are fantastic, but his torpedo bombers do suck. The thing is, it's like with dive bombers. The Japanese are awful. Absolutely awful against dive bombers. So it's like, I forget what the altitude is, but basically, Japanese AA, it just doesn't have the range. I think it's the 25mm or 20mm, they don't have the range to engage dive bombers. So basically, the dive bombers come in, and they only have to go through like two rounds of AA, basically the drop, and then on the way out. While as when, let's say we use dive bombs against him, I believe he can hit us at all ranges. So there's the drop, which would be in hit, well, the approach, the drop, and then the withdrawal, I suppose you could call it, so potentially 3 times there. For him, it's like the approach and the withdrawal, not the drop. Like with torpedo bombers, like the thing is with torpedo bombers, they do generally fall off later on due to the fact that you're getting hit by 3 rounds of AA, like the approach, the attack run, and then the withdrawal. And that was a little bit of a random spin-off there of information, but yeah, our torpedo bombers are pretty sweet. They are pretty sweet. So they're heading back to Raval. That's okay. Then unloading here. Good. And there's an airbase out here to Kazmata, but we need a fair one. Okay. Have these guys move in here to Sonobua. They're going to run naval search, which is great. So you can see from Sonobua we have detection really to 1 hex out of Cooktown. So this is going to be very good news. It makes our submarines just all that more effective, really, because then we're like, right, okay, we can zero in on him, really. Our kamikaze units, to be honest, I've never used kamikaze in this game, and they are what they are, really. They are what they are. Till we get to use them, I really can't say much more than that, really. But if I load, have them help out there. These guys are kind of up shit creek at the moment. So if they're attacked, they'll be destroyed. We'll see. Maybe he doesn't know how many men we have. Maybe he's just too scared to attack. We'll see. I'm hoping he doesn't. It's kind of bucket of ice. Excuse me, sorry about that. Good news, we can dock here. Verified load, accept load. I don't know if these bases are occupied. It's hard to say, to be honest. Alright, so we'll take this. Yeah, we have more ships being converted. We do have a good view in the actual stockpile being converted. I do need to get more lemurs into Japan to be converted as well, actually. Okay, we're going to take these. That's good. You're going to cancel that movement. Remain here. Yeah, pretty much. I like that. Okay. What we're going to do with these guys? They're going to head to Kendari. What I'm going to do is actually have... Yeah, what we're going to do is basically have the 23rd Air Flotilla move to Makassar. The reason then is I have the ability to run torpedoes 10 hectares away from Surabaya. But we have Kopang over here, which has the division of the actual air fleet. I forget which one it is. But that's going to cover this area here. Kendari is good, but we're going to leapfrog to Makassar in the next few days. So that means that I can actually run a lot of aircraft out from Makassar. I've really just shut this area down, which is fantastic. Okay, I think we are going to hit Rangoon this day. I will have to call the stream a little bit shorter soon. The reason is, I'm kind of dying here at the moment. And I don't want to send it off without checking everything over, so I'm going to, like, get a few more things done here, and then I'm going to get it, I'm going to go chill. Because I'm dying. And it is kind of bad. Yeah, we'll do a part 3. Probably tomorrow. So I've got fuck all of my life to do. Right, they can move there. Probably not take too long anyway. Alright, good. They got 782 miles to go. Get going, boy. Okay, just disband these guys. I mean, I'm reluctant to say don't go out without an escort, but yeah, right, disband. How's the Illusion's North Pacific area looking? See, the North Pacific's rather interesting. And I do need to edit these guys, so I'm going to get onto this one next. The good news is that we do have Midway. Midway is really quite important. What we've kind of decided is, when the American carriers do turn up, whenever the hell that is, if they're down here in the south, then we'll make potentially an earlier play to the Illusions. We'll see about that. See, I need to decide how many planes are going to approach Shoho. There's quite a few things I need to do here. I need to go through here and just sort out the AV in northern China and get it moving to where I need it to be. So I'm not going to do the boring shit on stream. I'll do it off stream when I can die in peace and sneeze and die. But yeah, in regards to the Lucians, I would like to see Dutch Harbour. If a Dutch Harbour... Well, Dutch Harbour would be nice. Yeah, Dutch Harbour is the best one. But yeah, we'll get this done here. I'm gonna have the Claudes transfer to Saigon again. Fatigue's building there, but we'll have a sweep and then rest them. That's true. I think you mean like ground battle. But then again, was Guam considered US territory? I think it was. I've not actually. If you want to put that link in the Discord, I'll take a look at that. That sounds interesting. Okay, so we're going to have 2 group sweep and then have the 3rd group escort. How you doing there, AT? So many of you guys called AT. And so many people. Thank you very much for AT Mirror. Appreciate that, man. Okay, we're going to go ahead and try to hit Rangoon this turn. So he's got 19 bombers over here, 54 fighters, roughly 12 auxiliary. The good news is we have a good idea what's going on. He did bombers over here in Thailand with the 2nd RTA, but I could not give less of a shit. Fish unit goes, I don't really give that much of a shit. Okay, that's that done. Now then. It's because I've got a bit of a cold. I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm like, all, nah. That's why. Yeah, I'm kind of on the lem set here. I didn't actually intend to stream until Military History Visualized messaged me on Twitter. No, using 30% is fine. The thing is, it's like if we're getting through and doing incremental damage, that's okay. We've seen what happens when things go wrong. The less, the smaller the number of bombers involved, the less that can go wrong, really. So that's something that's always worthwhile bearing in mind. I'm 24. Well, discoveries. Well, that's quite interesting. We do have this in mind. We do have a power play in mind for how to have the MKB survive. I would talk about that, but it's probably better to just watch the video when I post it. Yeah, I'm 24. Soon 25, I guess. Okay, right. Where's my other guys? So got additional PBs moving there. What I'm looking to do in here then is just having our ASW concentrate on these submarines. Well, 24. Not 25 yet. Not yet, my man. Okay, so they're headed into Kishiro there to unload. Yeah, we're going to try and intensify the ASW attacks against his submarines. It seems like he might not be moving them, so we're going to try and take advantage of that. If he's not moving them, then we'll try and just really up the amount of strikes, but hopefully. Okay, they can move there. Well, he's attempting to, but he's just not really organised it too terribly well. Have them disbanded there for the time being. The pots are mine, but this area here doesn't mind. It's just he's not really going about it in the right way. Goddamn, yeah, you don't want to be this submarine when it's like 6 destroyers on your ass. Okay, so that's Rangoon organized. This is organized. The 22nd is unpacking, so they're going to be about 2 days before they're ready. PV's over here. Yeah, it's like whack-a-mole. It basically is freaking whack-a-mole. Okay, load supplies. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's unlikely they'll be able to hit him, but it's worthwhile in the attempt, nonetheless. Okay. We're gonna attack here again. Yeah, something close to that. That sounds about goddamn right. You're goddamn right. I'm crap at impressions. Okay, there we go. You can do a little bit of reconnaissance of Sinkawang there. Try and build that up. Okay, 8 fighters there, that's fair enough. We're going to run that over Sinkawang. Ah, so there's though. Yeah, I'm not going to be too much longer here. I think I might call it here for the time being. And probably will be a third stream, just because there's a few things. I didn't intend to really stream here tonight. One squadron like to pilot. Thank you very much. There we go. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, a lot of moving parts in motion. I just need to do a few things here in China, but we should be good to go there. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll probably have another stream, or I might have this finished off as the State of the Empire, but probably another stream just to make sure things are done properly. But I say a big thank you here. Thank you very much for coming through and watching, and a special thanks to Military History Visualized for messaging me on Twitter and asking if I was actually going to stream. I was actually playing Star Sector at the time. I'm like, oh, okay, shit, I can't deny the Pope. So until next time, guys, thank you so very much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this, please do consider supporting myself through subscribing to my channels here on YouTube and on Twitch at XTRG, both the same name. And if you do enjoy my content, you would like to support me, you can always become a patron. That's really handy. Definitely helps me out each month. Makes it able so I can buy books and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go and recover. Have a beautiful evening there, guys. Have an even better day as well. I shall see you in the future, more than likely tomorrow. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.